serious?
I'm scared.
Look at our crew. Playoff caliber opening. Beasts of the East. I can't tell the difference between a tiger and a lion, but whichever animal that is, very intimidating. Nice roar. So we're going to go through the different portions of each team, breaking them down: forwards, goalies, defensemen, coaching, best overall. And these are your teams to choose from. There are the Caps and the Islanders. The top four: Pens, Bruins. It is so closely packed, and we love it. Down the stretch they come. High drama, and four teams that, frankly, all have viable hopes of going deep into the playoffs. We start with you, Scotty Hartnell. The forwards. Which of those teams has the best forwards?
I hate to say it, people, but I'm going to say the Pittsburgh Penguins. They got the best centerman, Sidney Crosby. He's leading the way, obviously, that top line. With Gensel and Brian Rust, they're doing damage. They have a couple of guys that you might have not heard, or you might have heard of them. Evgeny Malkin, Kasperi Kapanen. They have both been out, but they've been on a roll. So you get those two guys back, and when they're firing at 100%, it's going to be a scary second line. You got traded for Jeff Carter. Brandon Tanev, one of the most annoying guys out there. He's had a heck of a start to the season. He's been injured. You get that guy back. They got some great depth players as well. So I think the forwards, that would be the top of the class for me of the Eastern Conference.
I admire his professionalism. That pained him to say that. He's a flyer through and through. How about you, Reader? Forwards, best in the East.
Well, this one pains me because I'm a Bruin, but I'm not going with the Boston Bruins. I've got to go with the Washington Capitals. And as much as I hate going against Sidney Crosby, Patrice Bergeron, I've got to go with, when you've got Backstrom and Kuznetsov, and they're a couple years out from winning a Stanley Cup, you've got Alexander Ovechkin, who just scores goals no matter what. Wilson is just an absolute force. It might take a whole line just to slow Tom Wilson down. Picking up Anthony Mantha, I think, is the key to me. With Mantha and Oshie now on that second line, this is a group, and your third line has got guys like Hagelin's in that mix, and you've got Lars Ellers in that mix. You've got guys who've won Stanley Cups in the experience. Now, this is a team that's deep. They can score on all four lines. They're not afraid to play any style of game. So for me, I'm going to go a little extra depth in scoring for the Washington Capitals as the top team in the East.
Washington, mind you, 5 straight years has won its division, whatever division it is, including this year where the teams are shifted. Defense wins championships. We've all heard the adage of the East teams. The beast of the East defensively is
the New York Islanders. Okay. And I'm talking their defense, but it's team defense as well. Barry Trotz has these guys dialed in. They're committed to playing the right way in the defensive zone. They got some beasts back there. I love the way Nick Leddy plays. He's up the ice. He dominates. When you need a goal from your defense, he's leading the charge up the ice. He's distributing the puck, but they block shots. They put their bodies on the line. So for me, that team is dialed in. And if you're not going to play the right way, you're not going to play. Barry Trotz has made that clear right across the board, forwards, defensemen. So you have to buy in. You have to play the right way. And they do most nights. So that would be the best defensive team for me.
This was a tough one for me. I kind of pulled away from the Islanders. Even though they're a great defensive team, I just started to look at the defensemen rather than a whole team defense, because I think the Islanders take team defense. But for me, the defensemen who probably play best right now with their group are the Washington Capitals, because the Capitals have got guys who just want to get up and go. They want to get going quickly in the play. And when you've got guys like Justin Schultz, and you've got guys like John Carlson, you've got Dmitry Orlov, and these three guys love to move the puck. They love to jump up in the play. And then, you throw in big Zdeno Chara back there. He still scares a lot of people on the penalty kill. Brendan Dillon, Trevor Van Riemsdyk, and Nick Jensen that's their 7 defensemen. They've moved the puck well, but they've only played 7 defensemen all season long. So going into the playoffs, these guys are so comfortable with their pairings. They're so comfortable with the forward group that it's amazing to me when I looked at I'm like, well, they've got to have a couple other younger guys here who have played. No, they've played 7 defensemen all year long. And I think that kind of twisted it for them. It's like, wow, that group of 7 have done a great job to keep the Caps where they are. And I love the way that they play in the system and play with the forwards. So I'm going with the Caps on defense as well.
We've learned it's a partnership between the D and the goalie. So you guys have to pick a team out of that East group. Who has the best goaltending?
I'm going to go with my Finnish buddy, Tuukka Rask, and the Boston Bruins. He's the veteran guy. There's a lot of young goaltenders spread out through the other 4 teams. But Tuukka Rask, he's look at that save. We were on the other night. That was unbelievable. Tuukka's been there. He's won as a backup to Tim Thomas a bunch of years ago. Took him to the finals. Had not the best Game 7 and lost in Game 7, but this guy knows how to do it. And obviously the backup Jarro Halak, he can do it as well. So impressive, the 1-2-3 combination right there for the Bees. But when Tuukka's on, I don't think there's anyone better in the league.
Impressive.
Again, I can't go with my Bruins.
You obviously weren't a Bruin.
They're not going to let me. I was a Bruin twice. I'm not going to let me back in the state of Massachusetts after this one, for crying out loud. Maybe if it's because the producer and coordinating producer are both Islanders fans here, but I got to go with the Islanders. I mean, their team defense is strong. The way that they play and their goaltending has been absolutely sensational. And it starts with Varley. I mean, together, Varlamov and Sorokin have got 7 shutouts. There's not a tandem in the league that is better than that. These 2 guys are .923 and .922 save percentage. They can win their team a game. They don't normally have to because the team in front of them does a pretty good job of shutting things down. But for me, these 2 guys together, and I don't know who's going to start the first game. Obviously, Varley is the number 1 guy. He's definitely played more games, but their numbers are absolutely sensational.
No kidding.
The team is built for limiting outside shots, and these guys do what they're supposed to do. They stop the ones that they're supposed to stop. So for me, I think they would be, in my mind, in the East. If they were on Washington, I'd be Washington straight through here. But I'm going with the Islanders for goaltending.
So now it's time to name the Beast of the East. You've had part to the whole. Now looking at the whole. Which team in the East is the Beast?
My pick? Reader, you go first.
You want me to go? Okay.
Yeah.
I'm going with the Caps. The Caps have got offense. They've got defense. Their goaltending is young, maybe a little inexperienced, probably the most inexperienced of all. But I'm going with the Washington Capitals for sure in this one. They've got the experience, and like I said, they're a couple years away from winning the Cup, and I think they've got that hunger. And I just have a feeling that Ovi's going to get this group, and Oshie's going to get this group. The power play is going to get going in the playoffs, and they are going to be the team to challenge for the East, and I've got the Caps.
And I'll quote Dave Reed. You said last night, plus Peter Laviolette. It's the first year. And you pointed out, he always turns it around.
That's it. Yeah, you know what? That's a big. Actually, I think I have that written down here. Lavy. Yes, yeah. There you go. You're right. Every time he goes to
you're
team,
right.
He
You're
seems to get to the Stanley Cup final.
Yes.
So if they're going to get to the Stanley Cup final, that could be the year. Lavy keeps it going.
So you're up, Hartsey.
I got the Pittsburgh Penguins. It's painful to say that. I hate it, people. Let's not say it again. But no, I think they're deep. I think I don't know. They've been there before, not too long ago. They know what it takes. They have the experience. And Tristan Jarry, I didn't really think that he had the goaltending other than the 5 he gave up last game in yesterday's matchup. But I think he can do it for them. So it pains me to say it, but Pittsburgh Penguins, I think they're going to be the Beast of the East.
I like the way you did that. This was fascinating.
It's a good thing we're both in New Jersey. We're not anywhere near Philly or Boston here.
That's a very good point.